Hello and welcome. This is Angie with thecountrysheetcottage.net. So today we're going to talk about getting started with your Cricut. So I hear tons of people say one of two things. The first thing is, I haven't even opened the box yet and I've had my Cricut for a long time because I don't know where to start. And the second thing is, they open their Cricut and they're so confused about where to start and what to do first. And then they kind of give up and don't use it. So the second thing I hear people say is like, I've had my Cricut for 2 years, I've only used it twice. So let's change that today. So we're going to unbox this Cricut. We're going to look at what's inside the box. We're going to talk about where to start when you get a Cricut machine. Now, this can be any Cricut. So this happens to be the Wild Rose Cricut. That's a Joann exclusive right now. But this could be any Cricut. It can be a Cricut Explorer. It can be a Cricut Maker. Getting started is basically the same process. So we're going to walk through how to get started with your Cricut machine, and then you need to go get that box out of the closet, open it up, start using your Cricut machine today because you're going to love it once you know how to use it. So you want to start by taking everything out of the package. So that's what I've done here. So you'll definitely have a Cricut machine in your package, and once you get it out, you just open the cover. Some of the machines have an open button, but you can just actually open the lid by pulling it apart. Then you want to remove any packaging material. So most likely your Cricut machine has some kind of packaging material around it. The second thing that your Cricut is going to come with is some kind of blade. It could be installed in the machine or it could be separate. For instance, the Maker comes with one installed inside the machine as well as one that is separate. So it just depends on the machine you get. But you can remove that blade from the housing just by opening up the clamp and removing it. So if you want to look at the blade, you can. Now, what else comes in the package? That's going to depend on the machine you buy. So every machine is going to come with some type of cutting mat. It may come with 2 cutting mats depending on the type of machine you buy. So this machine came with a blue cutting mat, which is a light grip. There could be a fabric cutting mat. There could be a variety of mats depending on what machine and what bundle you purchased. There could actually be materials. So for instance, this one is a bundle, so it comes with a variety of vinyl and transfer tape and different things so you can get started creating. Also, every machine will come with some type of pen. So the pen itself is used in the second holder. So every Cricut machine has 2 holders, and the pen itself can be used in the second holder. Now we have a separate video on how to use pens if you're interested in that, and you can see how to use those with your any Cricut machine. And then you'll also have cords, of course. So you're going to have one that's your power cord, so to power the machine, and then you'll have another that is like a USB cord to go to your computer. Now, this one is the Cricut Explorer 2, as well as the Cricut Maker. They can work with mobile devices via Bluetooth, so you can use your mobile phone, your tablet, different things like that via Bluetooth and communicate with your Cricut machine. The other thing your Cricut machine is going to come with is some kind of instruction book. And if you'll open that instruction book, the very first page says ready to get started, and it gives you a link. So that link will take you to your very first project. How are you going to do your very first project? Every Cricut machine comes with the materials you'll need to make your very first project. So inside the box, you have the materials, everything you need to create your very first project, as well as a link to set up your machine and get started on that project. So I'm going to do a screencast, and I'm going to go to the link and start setting up this machine and make the project that the materials are included in the bundle with it. Now, the materials that come with your machine or the project could be different depending on what machine you purchase and when you purchase it. But every machine will have a book, will have a link for you to type into your web browser to get to the point where you set up your machine as well as create your first project, and it will walk you through that. So watch the screencast and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I've plugged my machine up and I've turned it on, and my machine told me to go to cricut.com/setup. That forwarded me to this page. I want to click Get Started. Now, the first thing you'll need to do once you click Get Started is make a Cricut ID. I already have one, so I'll be logging in with my account to add this machine to my account. So you have a machine already. I would just add the second machine or the additional machines to the account you already have so that everything transfers to your new account. This walks you through connecting your machine. So you should set up your USB cable, plug it into your computer, put in the power cable in, and press power on your machine. Now your Cricut machine will need to update itself. So you want to select the Cricut device you're using. Once the update is complete, you will be able to, first of all, claim anything that your machine came with. So a lot of the Cricut machines are bundled with free files. So you want to click Continue to register your machine and get those free fonts, images, etc. Most machines also come with a free trial of access, which you'll also want to try out. It is something that is completely optional when using your Cricut machine, so don't think that you have to pay the monthly fee for that. We have a separate video all about Cricut Access if you are interested in that at all. Now, this shows you the ready-to-make project that is included with your Cricut machine. So all the materials to make this project are included with your Cricut. All you have to do is click Continue, and it'll walk you through the entire process of creating the card. Now, what this does is familiarizes yourself with the Cricut machine by walking you through how to use it. So it shows you that here is the project, and you can click on it to view its details. It tells you what each screen is, and it tells you where to click. So I want to click Make It to make it with my Cricut machine. It then pulls up the project and pulls it up on the cut mats. So now the project is sorted by color onto individual mats, and we can click Continue to start our project. It will connect our machine and prompt us to start making our card. The first thing we want to do is set the smart dial to the appropriate material size. So it walks you through this completely and tells you to set your smart dial to cardstock. So then you would move your dial from vinyl to cardstock. Then you can add your material to your mat. So the mat has a protective sheet on it that's clear, and you just peel that away. And then this is calling for the white cardstock. And again, this was with our Cricut machine inside the packaging. You just want to lay that on your mat, smooth it down and make sure it's adhered, and then it's ready for your machine. The computer also walks you through things like loading the pen, loading your fine point blade, so you have illustrative pictures there to show you how to do each of the steps that are required to make the card. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually add the pen to clamp A. You can also see tips and tricks for loading the mat into your machine. So if this is the first time using your machine, you should be able to get all the tips and tricks you need from the tutorial that it walks you through on your computer. And we're just going to place the mat in the machine. So you want to place it under the guides that are on the left and right, up against the rollers, hold it slightly with your hand up against the rollers, and press the flashing arrow key. Then it will also tell you when to press go, the C button, to start cutting. Once you do that, you'll see that the C button starts to flash. That means it's ready to cut. You press the C, and it will start to both draw and cut on your project. Once your cut is complete, it will also walk you through unloading your pen and your mat and the removal of the paper actually from the mat, again, peeling the mat away from the cardstock. Once it's finished, the arrow button will start flashing again. You just press it and eject it from your machine. Now you can start pulling this off of your mat. So we can pull the excess around the outside off first. And now we have our card. Now, one trick when removing paper from a mat is to remove the mat from the paper. So roll it over and start rolling your mat up. And this will prevent your card from curling. And now we have our card. It has cutouts as well as the writing across the front, and it's ready for the rest of our project. And once you've cut all your pieces, you just assemble them to make your finished card. Then when you click continue, there will be some bonus things like things you can do to embellish your card that could teach you some additional skills if you would like to. So this will continue to walk you through how to use your machine and the steps to actually do it and create some things of your very own. So for this embellishment, we click the new project button, and then it'll start walking us through how to add images. So if you want to customize, so maybe you don't want to make a ready-made card, this is where you can start to customize it. So it's actually going to walk us through something specific, but there are thousands and thousands of images in Cricut Design Space, and you can use the search bar to search for those and start making projects right away. Some of those will be free, some of them are free with access, and then some there are a fee for. So then we just continue just like we did before. So we're going to click Make It. This time we're not going to use the pen, so this is just cut only. And once again, we had a blue piece of paper in our box with this machine, so we have everything we need to make this. We can just start making. I could take this pen out, but it doesn't hurt anything to leave it in. And then we click the C, and we start to cut our piece. Then we can remove our embellishment from the mat in the same manner. Small embellishments like these, I oftentimes just pull them off the mat. It's not going to hurt if it's a little bit curled. And the final instructions are on assembling your project, and then you just click Finish. And you're ready to start designing and making your own projects. Then we can actually assemble this card. So this is the card we cut in the first step. Then there was a black piece of cardstock that was actually inside of my package, and it was actually cut to size already. So I can just start putting that into the cut pieces. Then I can slide the embellishment in. And I could use adhesive to secure this, or I could just leave it as it is. And we just made our first project with our Cricut machine, all with materials that were inside the box that came with the Cricut. So now you have your Cricut machine out of the box, you've made your first project, now what? So, a couple of things. In the description for this video, I'm going to give you some links. The first one is a beginner's guide to Cricut Design Space. Free download. You can head there, start learning about Cricut Design Space, how to upload your own images, design things, use text, all those fun things right in Cricut Design Space, and the beginner's guide is free. Second thing, we have short little Cricut Basics videos right on our YouTube channel. So be sure to like this video, subscribe so you don't miss any of the Cricut Basics series. You can also scroll down on our YouTube channel, see tons of different Cricut Basics videos that we've already done. Have a question? Leave it in the comment section below. I'll also link to a few videos in the description for this video, so if you want to head there, you can try those just to get you started. So now, there's no excuses at all, y'all. Grab your Cricut machine, start following those instructions, make that first project, and then get creative and use it all the time. You'll definitely want to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss any of our videos, because we do Cricut crafts all the time. So thank y'all for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.